Hey, good morning. It's Donald and Mary, your Grateful in Death Zone, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning we're going to start off with the weather and water, and then we have some rescues, but we also have an article, or we've written up some stuff about ticks. And so ticks are super bad this year. And so we wanted to discuss them and talk about the diseases that they spread and the issues that they cause when not all the time, but a good percentage of them will cause headaches, fatigue, dizziness, and some of them will give you a meat allergy. So let's move from here to the weather, and then after water, and then after that some trail chatter. All right.
Thank you, Donald. All right, everybody, good morning. Right now in Blairsville, it is 68 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today we're looking at a high of 86 with scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon with a 40% chance of rain. And then tonight, 64 degrees, some clouds this evening, giving way to mainly clear skies overnight. Winds will be light and variable today and tonight with a 40% chance of rain during the day. Up on Blood Mountain, we're looking at a high of 79 degrees today, dropping to 74 this afternoon. Patchy fog between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., and then a chance of showers and thunderstorms. There will be some sunshine, winds will be 5 miles per hour, and there is a 50% chance of rain. Tonight, 66, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 p.m., and then mostly clear overnight, 5 mile per hour winds with a 40% chance of rain. Water's still good on the trail. Some of the seasonals are starting to dry up. I know that Hog Pen Gap, that source up there, is dry. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter before you head north towards Justice Creek at 6.2 miles until you have another chance for water. And then Slaughter Creek has been running. I don't know the status of it at the moment, but it was low. So there was some there the last time I spoke to some hikers that were coming up that way. So keep yourself topped off. Make sure you have plenty of water for your hike. It is the time of year for snakes on the trail. They like to sun themselves on the rocks and across the trail. And make sure you look when you're going to sit down or picking things up off the ground. Let's remember in that group of boulders up on Cow Rock, there is a nest of copperheads. So stay off of those boulders up in there. Now getting over to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, we're going to talk about the bears for just a second. All of the shelters that were closed for bear activity are reopened. A couple of the campsites that were closed have reopened. Campsites that are still closed are 90, 23, 59, and 96. Charlie's Bunyan has bear warnings, as do the campsites 21, 86, 13, 15, 64, and 65. Now, Newfound Gap Road, which goes between Cherokee and Gatlinburg, the overnight closure has been lifted, so you can use the road overnight now. They were closing, I believe it was 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. or somewhere in there. They always have the turnaround area for the big commercial vehicles that are not supposed to be going through the mountains up there. They have a turnaround on both sides where they're able to get out of the park before they even enter. All right. Also, up on Newfound Gap Road, there is construction that's going to be starting. It says for those traveling in the Smoky Mountains, Newfound Gap Road has some construction starting July 14th on a 7-mile section for repaving the road from milepost 20 through milepost 27. And this will go on from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Sunday night through Friday morning. And then starting August 15th, construction will take place during the day. This is expected to be completed by September 30th, and then visitors are advised to drive with caution, anticipate delays due to lane closures and the paving process. So a little bit extra time getting between Cherokee and Gatlinburg. Plan extra time in there, and everything should work out just fine. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over to Donald. He's got some other things we're going to be talking about today, and let's see what he has to talk about. Donald?
All right, thank you. All right. Excuse me.
So I have this here, and then we'll go back here to the other thing that we'll be talking about this morning.
All right. All right, and so this morning, let's start in Arizona with a California woman who died while hiking at Badger Springs Trail in Black Canyon City on July 10th, Yavapai County Sheriff said. Deputies responded to a report of an unresponsive hiker on the trail around 6 p.m. and found 63-year-old woman who was pronounced dead at the scene. She was found only a quarter of a mile away from her vehicle. The initial investigations indicated she was returning to the trailhead when she collapsed. No foul play is suspected. Montana, a Utah man fell to his death on Wednesday while descending a mountain in Glacier National Park in Montana. The man was descending a steep off-trail climbing route on the west side of Mount Gould, elevation 9,557 feet. When he fell, park rangers received a call just before 6 p.m. Two companies that use helicopters and planes helped rangers locate him. His body was recovered Thursday morning and brought to Flathead County Coroner. An investigation is continuing.
That's unfortunate, both of those.
Right, dude. Wow.
One more. There you go.
All right. And so Mary and I are working on our little show here and trying to make it better. And we wanted to discuss things that happen out here, of course, which we try to focus on the main things that are going on. And one of the things that we're seeing is ticks. And yesterday on our show, we were talking about ticks at the end of it for a couple minutes and discussed that, throughout the years in my lifetime, that's definitely changed. Ticks are everywhere. Like I was saying yesterday, I used to sleep out. I grew up on a big farm. My family owned a lot of land in Maine. And I used to roam all through that land and dirt bike and tear stuff up and steal my dad's truck with no license and drive around and hammer on it through. Anyways, the whole point is my friends and I used to go out in the fields and the woods and start fires and drink beers or whatever and do things that kids do. Well, I don't know if they drink beers and stuff, man, but everyone I hung out with did, man, and that was pretty much everyone up there in Hollow. I guess there wasn't much to do, man. I mean, besides shoot guns, ride dirt bikes, drive cars in the pits and whatever dirt bikes, whatever motorized. We used to have tractors, too, that I used to hammer up.
I think when you go up in the countryside, I did too, and it was kind of the norm. Motorbikes, going into the woods as far as you could go. We used to go like 2 miles to this brook that used to run through. We'd go fishing.
Swimming, and the quarries and stuff.
There's a lot of things to do. I mean, I couldn't get into town. It was probably 10 miles from where I lived. So unless my parents were going to town, I was stuck out there. So we found our own entertainment.
Blow shit up.
Yep.
Blow stuff up, spray cans,
Pop
whatever.
bottles with BB guns and rocks and things, and yes, absolutely, getting into things. And we used to sneak cigarettes and never got into any alcohol, but we used to sneak cigarettes. Pall Mall, the unfiltered
The
ones.
Pall Mall non-filters are famous for old people, man. So that Pabst Blue Ribbon.
You only try it once on my end.
All right, dude.
Boy.
Those are nasty, man.
It was rough. But
They were rough.
We did the same
Very
thing.
rough.
And, we were all in the grasses and everything. And
So my grandfather used to chew, an old farmer. My family was an old farm family. They'd been there since 1776 in Hollowell, Maine. And so Augusta was actually built on our land, man, the capital. But it's a long... Anyways, my family had been there forever. So they were all old farmers. My grandfather was an old farmer, and he chewed. It was like these packages, dude, of like the soft... And it was plastic. It's not like that Red Man shit that comes in the pouches, man. These were like packages,
they
like
looked
little...
like brownies.
Yeah, dude, that's what they were, man. And so I used to find them down in the laundry room and try eating that shit. Anyways, man.
That'll cure you real quick.
Oh, my grandfather, man, jeez, man, he was hot. My grandfather, they were all hardworking people, and They worked with cows. They were big cattle dealers. And so, he didn't really talk to us, man. You know what I mean? I remember the thing that gets me is my brother and I were standing in the kitchen of my grandparents' house. And so my family all lived on one street pretty much, or were scattered throughout Hollowell and Augusta. But a lot of them lived on Winthrop Hill. And so it was my house, my grandparents, my Uncle Richard down here, my Aunt Alice across the street, or the field from my grandmother's was right here, is my Aunt Alice, my house, my Uncle Richard, and then, the barn and all the fields. And, there used to be numerous barns and slaughterhouses, but they got torn down throughout the years, man, as farming kind of wasn't lucrative anymore. And so, and my grandparents were getting older.
Of course.
And, as the generations changed, my cousins and stuff, no one wanted to do farming. So it just kind of died out in Hollowell. Harvey Crimmins and, Bud Lord and all the farmers there, they just kind of died away, and the kids never pursued the same ideas, or they didn't have the same concepts. But anyways, so we would go in those fields and stuff, man, and never get a tick. And then I went home in 2002 or something and was wandering through the fields, and I had several ticks on me. And it happened numerous times, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, man, I never got ticks, especially in the places I was, and I was getting ticks. And so the ticks are worse. And so we wanted to talk about them and how to identify getting bit by a tick, what to do when you get bit by a tick, and how to repel the ticks.
Right.
All right, and so let's start here. So clothing, light-colored clothing, long sleeves and long pants tucked into socks. Thorough check after outdoor activities. Repellent, insect repellent with DEET Picaridin IR 3535. Treat clothing with permethrin, not for use on skin. Listen, man, yesterday I was talking about friends and stuff that got whacked. My buddy Adam got whacked too this year and ended up in the hospital, man. And he was there for about a week, and he put permethrin on, but he did not put anything on his skin, and he got whacked by a bunch of ticks and got Lyme. That's what happened, man. He got so sick. Remember that, dude?
Sure do.
He sent me pictures of him. He stayed in the hospital for like a week. He sent me pictures, man, and he was messed up, dude. It bit him on the foot, man, and it started this huge rash.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. He was sick too, man. He was like, bro, I thought I was gonna die, dude. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, man. It was, man. I felt bad for him. It took him days to get out of there, man. And so he's up in Kentucky. Ohio, Kentucky area. So he goes down into Red Gorge and stuff. But yeah, he scored, and he said he was getting a bunch of them on him, his old lady, the dogs, and everything, man. Yeah. All right, and so treat your clothing with permethrin, and treat your skin, not with the permethrin, but with Picaridin D, or anything that's going to repel the bugs. Not just ticks, man. There's everything out here, man. All right, and so avoid tick habitats. Walk clear paths, avoid grassy, wooded, and brushy areas where ticks are common. So they'll hang out on the ends of the grass, dude, like bunch up, and what they'll do is when you walk past and you brush up against that grass, they latch onto you, and then they
That's right.
do their job, man, what they're here for, and that's to suck blood. They're like little vampires, man. All right, and so what I do, man, is I don't put my bag down anywhere, man. Like, I'm very careful on where I put my bag. I don't like to put it down the grass, man. I don't like to just stuff it off to the side on the trail, man, because there's poison ivy, there's bugs that can get on it, spiders, whatever, dude. You put it back on, next thing you know, you got ticks, spiders, poison ivy oil on the bag and stuff. You're rubbing on it, now you got poison ivy or poison oak, poison sumac, whatever, man. You know what I mean, dude? There's tons of stuff out there that can cause issues, man. Anyways, avoid where you're sitting down. Don't sit down in the long grass. Try to sit on rocks and stuff, man. Try to check your body, man. Don't run through the grass or roll through a field, man, right now. This is the worst time to do it. Chiggers too, man. Chiggers are equally as bad, man. All right, and so stay in center of trails to minimize contact with vegetation. Be cautious in wooded areas. Avoid leaning on trees and brushing against plants. There's little seed ticks down here, man, that hang out around the trees and stuff, man. Those little seed ticks are tiny, and they'll mess you up, dude. All right, and so tick checks. Check for ticks and removal. Conduct regular tick checks. Pay attention to common tick sites: underarms, behind knees, around ears, and around belly button, groin. I had one right here on the back side of my nutsack, dude, like right where the taint is. Seriously, dude, it was like right up in there,
Well,
man,
it's
one
of those
time.
places that the ticks like. The only tick I've had was the day we went at BMT, and I had that one on the back on my back. I kept feeling this like scratchy itching, and thankfully he was still walking around, so I didn't have to worry about pulling him out. But that's the only tick I've had that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You mean the lookout there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you want to check all these areas. And like I was saying yesterday, man, our buddy Coyote was pushing big miles, and I think he's just exhausted, not paying attention, but he had a tick right here under his pack belt, waist belt. And it was there for several days, and it caused huge problems. He was in the hospital for several days also. All right, and so shower within 2 hours of being indoors to help wash off unattached ticks. Tumble dry clothes, high heat for 10 minutes to kill any ticks that might be present. Or just wash your clothes.
Right.
Tick removal. Use fine tip tweezers to grasp tips. Use fine tip tweezers to grasp ticks' heads as close to your skin as possible. Pull upward with a steady, even pressure. Avoid twisting or jerking the tick. You want to try to get the whole entire tick. You don't want to leave that head in you. Now, they have these little tick removers too that you can use. Yeah. I also, back in the day, you take like a hot pin and touch them. They pull their head up out, and then you kind of simultaneously kind of.
Sizzle.
No, well, they pull their head up, and then you
get
pull.
rid of 'em.
Yeah, and then you pull them off then at the same time, kind of. You know what I mean? Anyways, so, all right, you want to protect your pets. Use veterinary recommended tick prevention products on pets. Do regular checks, especially if they have been outdoors. Seek medical attention. If you develop symptoms of tick-borne illnesses such as fever, rash, or muscle aches, seek medical attention promptly according to the CDC. Inform your doctor about any tick bites or potential exposure. So, I wanted to talk about some of the human effects that happen. We have tick bites that cause a range reactions in humans. They can cause mild skin irritations, all the way to potentially serious illnesses. Most tick bites are harmless, but some can cause Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, alpha-gall, and there can be multiple symptoms including fever, headache, fatigue, muscle aches, and rashes. So common reactions are skin irritation. A tick bite typically appears as a small red bump or sore on the skin, which may be itchy or painful. So you will have swelling or redness in the area the bite happened as the body reacts to the site and tries to expel the tick saliva or the toxins. Itching is a common reaction. Lyme disease is one of the most well-known tick-borne illnesses. Lyme's, it can cause rash, fever, fatigue, and joint pain if left untreated. It can also cause problems with the heart, nervous system, and joints. Rocky Mountain spotted fever. This disease can cause fever, headache, muscle aches, and a rash that may appear as spots on the wrist and ankles. Alpha-Gal syndrome is a meat allergy caused by tick bites. One of our friends has it, actually, and caught it out here.
I've met several riders through the years that have told me they have that.
Yeah, and they can't eat red meat and stuff, man. It makes them sick. strangest shit I've ever seen, man.
Sure is.
So other diseases, ticks can transmit other illnesses, anaplasmosis, ehrlichiosis. I don't know if I said that right. I may have tore it up, but it's spelled Ehrlichiosis. And then there's another one called Powassan.
Wow.
It's a virus disease which can cause fever, headache, and muscle aches. So after removing the tick, you want to make sure that you wash the area and watch for maybe a bullseye rash that can possibly happen. Hospitals sometimes circle it and watch to see if it grows. And so, you know, be super careful. Wear either picaridin, permethrin, or DEET. So you want to do your clothes with permethrin and picaridin on the skin,
Yes.
or DEET. And so whatever you prefer, they both work. Definitely be aware of them. It's definitely become something that has stretched from Georgia to Maine. And it's not just in the southern states, because that's where really, I think ticks were more down here a long time ago, and they just traveled up north. Like the other day, I was looking at something, looking at some news, and they found a copperhead in Boston. So, a copperhead in Boston, man, is unusual. You know what I mean, dude? But they're warning people not to walk down on this trail, dude, next to the river, because 2 dogs were bit by this copperhead. Yeah. So, as climate change happens and things are changing out here, man, and it's getting warmer in these northeast states, and the weather changes, so is the stuff is starting to migrate north and just stay there, man, like snakes and ticks and spiders that you wouldn't see up there, and they're being transferred also by all these the foods and
That's right.
and remember that lizard we saw down on the Florida Trail, dude?
I do.
So there was this lizard at this horse equestrian farm thing down by Okeechobee when Mary and I were on the Florida Trail. And so I got heat stroke down there, and we camped out at this place for like a week, man. But during that time, man, we would sit out, and there was, you know, it was really hot, man. Even the squirrels, I have pictures of it, man.
I remember that.
Little squirrel was just flattened out on a post, man, just so hot, dude. But there was this lizard, man, and it was like red, yellow. The head was like red and some yellow, and it was a really just pretty lizard, man. It was exotic for sure, man. It was definitely, but it was from Africa, and it came over on the ships, man, and so it was starting to take over parts of Florida, man. And that's what it said when I looked it up. It had white. It was like white, red, and yellow. I have pictures of them. But that little dude would come out and look at us, and then I tried to take a picture of him, and he would run away, man, and hide. And then he'd come back out and stare and look like he wanted to be fed almost. It was really weird, man. There's a lot of stuff out here, man, going on, and they're moving from place to place, these little critters and stuff and bugs, and being brought over on cargo ships and being transferred by the truckers, bringing it to all these places. And that's how, you know, we got brown recluses and widows up in Maine now.
Well, you know, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I remember growing up in Massachusetts, I had never even heard of a deer tick or Lyme disease. You know, you had your dog ticks, and I had several of those as a kid, but I did not hear of Lyme disease or those ticks until early 2000s.
Yeah, dude.
I had
Same
never
here.
seen one, never heard of it, never heard of Lyme disease, and then all of a sudden we're hearing of it everywhere.
Yeah, that's about when it happened too, man. It's about when the change happened, dude. Because I'm telling you, I used to sleep out in those woods, man. We'd go down to this place called Vaughn's Woods, man. Call it Hobbit Land. And back in like the 17 and 1800s, before Hollowell was, a big place, man. They built all these, because the rock quarries are there too, and we'd bring rock. So the Kennebec River, if no one knows this, they used to take ice from the Kennebec River and sell it all over the world. It was like a delicacy, man. And so, not only that, they used to have rock quarries there, man, and they diverted the water to go down into this like pond way, way away, man. But it eventually made it there, and so through a network of streams and whatever. Anyways, so it was called the Cascades, and they built a dam right there, man, and the Cascades, the dam, the water went down to the Kennebec. But they built all these little bridges down there with the quarry stones, man, and we called it Hobbit Land, dude, because it was like all these stone bridges and waterfalls and stuff. You go down in there and do whatever. Anyways, there was this field in the middle, dude, and the high school was on the other side, and then, the town of Hollowell was over here, man, but in between were these woods. And so, in between the woods and the woods was a little field in the middle of nowhere, and we used to throw big parties there, man, and just lay in the field and watch all the lightning bugs just light the field up, and everyone would just kind of hang out, and not one of us got a tick. I bet if you went in that field today, though, man, and hung out, dude, and did whatever, you would get ticks. You would definitely have to go in there sprayed up with
Permethrin.
yeah, dude, you'd have to douse your body and DEET and shit, dude. And I'm not into that. I don't usually spray stuff
I
on me.
hate putting that stuff on me.
But today you kind of have to. It's unfortunate. Anyways, all right. So that's what we got going on. We don't have a lot going on today. We've got some shuttles and stuff. Someone dinged in at 9:30, but I'm a 7 o'clock type of guy for bed, so I did not see the text till about 1 a.m. when I was in the bathroom and saw that. Did you text him, by the way?
Yeah, I'm going to reach out as soon as we get done here. It was early.
Yeah, it's a 7 a.m. pickup for... But anyways, I think they're a regular customer, too.
They are.
But we'll get back to them this morning, and so we'll take care of them, and then Jordan's going to be working at the Gap today. So it's July, man. It's nice to kind of get a breather, man, and relax a little bit. I mean, we've got shuttles, but it's nice to like kind of take a breather, man, because slower it's not that tough. No, man. Anyways, I hope everyone, did you have anything else like to say?
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right. I hope everyone has a great day. One love, peace, drink a lot of tea, be kind.